Total Pro Sports presents 15 Best Sports Video Games from Our Childhood. A lot of people grow up wishing that they could become a professional athlete and follow in the footsteps of their sports idols. Unfortunately, the majority of these people don't end up obtaining this goal. Well, thanks to video games, we can still live out our fantasies in any sports game we desire. There are a plethora of amazing sports games, but here at Total Pro Sports, we like to filter out the mediocre games and only discuss the best. Number 15, NBA Hangtime. This 1997 N64 game is an unforgettable one, with adaptable controls and they create a character mode. What made this game extremely exciting was the lack of fouls called, and basically just knocking people around all over the court. In addition, there were certainly a fair share of insane dunks and high-scoring contests. Number 14, MLB Slugfest 2003. What makes this game so great? Home runs, everyone loves home runs. With all the cheat codes available at the hand of the user, and the violence displayed during plays at the plate and charging the mound, this game is an absolute blast. Number 13, SSX3. This game offered amazing free-roaming features where you could snowboard through the woods if you really wanted to. SSX3 thrived where SSX2 did not by having better characters who were allowed to do harder tricks and also a better soundtrack. Number 12, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Remember how big Tony Hawk used to be? Every single one of his games used to be a major hit, but nothing beat Pro Skater 2. This version allowed users to create a park, create a skater, and partake in a career mode if they so choose. Number 11, FIFA Street. The reason that this game is the only soccer game on here is because the newer soccer games are significantly better than the older versions minus this game. FIFA Street was an extremely realistic game, with emphasis on moves and ball movement. The amount of tricks you are able to do in this game is what puts this version over the edge. Number 10, MLB 2009 The Show. No baseball game would ever come close to this bona fide classic. The 2009 version was the first version that introduced the Road to the Show feature, which let you take a player from the beginning of his career and let you build him up yourself. This feature paved the way for future games to develop player modes similar to this. Number 9, NFL Blitz. With concussions being a thorn in the NFL's backside, there is no denying the NFL has gotten a lot softer over the past few years. This could not be any more opposite than what NFL Blitz is all about as a game. It depicts an aggressive and violent version of football, where players can inject steroids whenever they want and hit extra hard. Number 8, NFL Street 2. Continuing the theme of hard-nosed football games is of course this game. The appeal of playing as current or past NFL stars without pads on and at normal locations makes this game a must-play. One of the best aspects of NFL Street 2 is all the different trick plays that you can run while at the same time running up walls to juke defenders out on your way to a touchdown. Number 7, Mario Tennis N64. There are a multitude of fantastic Mario-themed games for N64, but this one has to be the most underrated and least talked about. Mario Tennis is a phenomenal game where singles and doubles are equally as fun. The controls are very simple, and being classic Mario characters adds an extra element to this game. Number 6, NBA Street Volume 2. Arguable the most arcade-style version of any NBA game ever made. This game has it all from incredible dunks to unbelievable passes. NBA Street Volume 2 lets you pick between current teams and classic NBA teams, like the 1985 and 1996 Chicago Bulls. Number 5, NHL 94. This game is the definition of a cult classic. It has very subpar graphics, but what made it stand out is it is the first hockey game that introduced one-timers. The controls for NHL 94 were very basic, and eventually paved the way for all NHL games since then. Number 4, Tecmo Super Bowl. This game will always be known as the first ever game that was allowed to use real names and real attributes of NFL players. While you could only play one season in the game, users would just continuously play the season over and over because it was that epic of a game. Number 3, Madden 2004. 2004 will always be remembered as the year of Michael Vick in Madden. When I say that Vick was unstoppable in Madden 2004, that is an injustice because words cannot describe how good he was in that game. He was arguably the most unstoppable player in Madden history, with moves that no one has ever seen before. Number 2, Punch-Out! Speaking of dominant athletes, Punch-Out was Mike Tyson's version of Madden 2004. Mike Tyson was physically better than everyone else in that game, and with only 3 buttons to do his punches and combos, the game was effortless. Plus, taking on boxers from different countries in the ring has always been a pastime favorite for Americans. And number 1, Backyard Baseball. How could you have a sports video game list and not include this game on it? The only PC game on this list is an absolute doozy. What makes this game the greatest of all time is the combination of different backyard characters you could play, in addition to the different locations you could play at. Whether you were Pablo Sanchez or Tony Del Vecchio, you could always count on the backyard kids to stand up to the big bad MLB professional players. And that's it for the 15 best sports video games from our childhood. But wait, we are not done with you yet. In the comments below, we want to know what your favorite sports game is ever. And for more cool videos, click subscribe.